Hey there, YouTube. I put up a video a few days ago talking through my experience with the Staccato pistols. Shot a lot of rounds through them now and had some experience. So I put it up, we talked about it, and now we're gonna go through the comments. We'll see what you guys have to say because you guys are usually pretty interesting in the comments. Okay, let's get to it. Top one here, the fact that Ben and T-Rex Arms don't hate the XC are glowing reviews. Okay, so I don't know about that. Like, to me, it would be weird to like really hate the gun. I think hatred for it would come from what it costs. Whereas like, if you just look at it as the thing, it's a comp 2011, you know, for whatever you want to say about that. It's like a lot of people like that or would have fun with that or whatever. And to me, it's an accessible comp 2011, meaning I'm not dealing with a gunsmith to get it. It's not a bespoke pistol. It's a production gun. They're built on an assembly line, and you know that makes it hopefully a little more consistent and all that stuff. Like, I don't know. Why would I conceptually? I don't really hate it. All right, let's go read through the comments of this one. It's because price is not a factor to neither of them. I mean, that's not really true that price isn't a factor, but I can just disregard the price and talk about the product and then consider the price sometimes. Like if you consider the price, the XC doesn't make any sense. Like as a pistol, like why would you buy, you know, a $4,000 pistol? Like that doesn't make sense, like economically, like obviously, like right from the jump, it makes no sense. So like, I don't understand why guys like wig out about the price, because already it's like, if you're buying a price point, you wouldn't even look at that. If price is a factor, other comp 2011s run a couple grand more expensive than the XC. All things considered, it's not that bad of a price. Yeah, I mean, it's tons of money. It's like, it's the way that the 2011 market is. Like if you want a 2011, you can spend as much as you want on them. You can spend $10,000 if you want. Like, does that make sense economically? Not really. No, but if you get something that you really like or that's really cool or whatever, like that's why you're doing it. Okay, I get it. Okay, when a comp Prodigy was even slightly comparable to the XC is just an all-around stupid gun. Staccatos are just slightly worse Bull Armory 2011s that cost more. You can literally build from a Tisas DS throw comp on, it'll run around 90% as well as a Staccato costing less than $1,500. Yeah, so I gotta get Andreas back on here. You guys might remember my friend Andreas. He went down the Prodigy path for, I don't know how long he was doing that, like maybe 6 weeks. Like he wanted to shoot a 2011. He got a Prodigy because it was cheap, right? And Andreas is a price point buyer, even though he doesn't really have a reason to be a price point guy. He makes tons of money. Anyway, he gets the Prodigy, okay, and it was annoying enough to deal with that gun. Like the optic didn't want to stay mounted for this, that, or the other reason, and it jams sometimes, and it had to be lubed and all this, and it's like, it just, for a guy who wants to go seriously train and all that, like there was enough annoyances there with the gun that he just didn't want, like he didn't want to fuck with it. Like it became not a money thing. It's like, no, I want a gun that works better. Like maybe not perfectly, but way better. And then he got a Staccato and he's much, much happier with it. So it's like, I don't know. I think it's a little delusional, the price stuff where they're like, oh, I'm going to buy this thing and piece it together and my thing will be just as good as that other thing. Like probably not. You're usually better off buying the thing the way you want the thing to be from the factory and not modifying it yourself. That's typically, as buying things go, that's typically the way to do it. But not always. Like if you have a lot of knowledge and you know what you're doing, like, yeah, you can modify the things. All right. Got the P and the XC. Haven't touched any of my other guns. For those buying XCs, they now come with an 8-pound recoil spring. I asked Staccato a few weeks ago. Okay, 8 pounds still sounds too soft in my estimation, but okay. Next one. It's okay to like different brands of guns. People get so emotionally attached, and of course, most people become really attached to expensive things. Ever seen someone say they didn't like their $300 shades? It's also okay to like expensive things. Hell, it's a fraction of the cost of a bass boat or a truck. Everyone should spend their money how they like. Like, okay, yeah. I mean, if that's what you want to do, like if you want to buy an XC, go buy an XC. If you don't want to, then don't. That is fine. I think everybody is fine with that. All right, bought an XC after watching your videos about the P and the XC. Okay, cool. Right, and I'm not a Staccato salesman, and I don't think Staccato's a big fan of me. However, I think I've sold a lot of Staccatos, and I find that a little bit funny. Okay, recoil spring made a notable difference after trying a few. Yeah, I mean, I think that's good. And look at the comments. That's awesome, man. It's a sick gun. Okay, cool. Like, I like that. I think the XCs are fun. I mean, they definitely are cool. Like showing up to the range with that shit, people might want to look at it. Staccato owners tend to like to show their stuff off. Yeah. It would be neat if Staccato revamped their lineup to have flush frames with the slides all on models and external extractors. Maybe if they got a better plate system like the Bulls. Okay, man, I like the Staccato plate system. At least the way that they've mounted up my shit has been super solid. All right, purchased a Prodigy. Changed some parts. It runs great, but I'm probably going to stick with some of the polymer pistols. Like, okay, cool. Good for you. Now, there's guys that want me to shoot different guns. Beretta M9A3 next. Like, yeah, I'm not super interested in that. MPA. Masterpiece Arms guns are pretty interesting. I do like the plastic grips, though. I'm going to be honest on the Staccatos. Thank you, Ben. Maybe send your Staccato P off for Vulcan porting now. I know you think that's crazy since you have an XC. Oh, it's not crazy. It's like, what's the point? But I see so many people taking the P to Vulcan now. All the best, bro. Great content as always. Like, I don't know. Like, that does seem like why I don't understand why I would do that. Like, what's the point? If I'm going to go 2011 again, I had the STI Edge 40 in 1999. I would like to have that again. It'd have a bigger grip than most of the 2011s today, if I understand right, and absolutely a polymer grip. Yeah, that was one of those cases. Shooting 40 cal through the 2011s is one I don't love. I don't love the polymer grip in that case, and it's like, kind of a pussy. I think I need the metal one. Any interest in running the Platypus? I think you previously said it didn't interest you too much, but curious if your opinion changed. Like, not really. My opinion didn't really change. Like, I would shoot it or whatever, but, you know, I'm not super interested in it. Can we see a Beretta 92 XI SAO in your next set of testing? Yeah, I just played with one of those. I was in Texas. One of the Beretta team guys hosted me for a course, and it was like, I thought it was pretty good. I'm like, this seems all right. Like, it's not dramatically different from other Beretta products, but it's like, that one seems okay. All right. Do you really think they're good enough for EDC, talking about the Staccatos, or just range and competition guns? Yeah, you could carry them. You could EDC them. I think the pistol is like good enough for that, whatever that means. It's just not like, it's not like this. It's not a Glock where I'm just like, don't give a fuck, and it's like, it'll probably work. That you want to be a little more attentive to taking care of it, which I don't think amounts to a whole lot, but it's like, I wouldn't have a problem with somebody carrying a Staccato. Okay. Lucas did a test on them, and certain ammo will not run through them. Yeah, I've heard that. Most ammo they used, actually. Maybe that's your problem. There's some more stuff. You can see it on the T-Rex channel. Like, I didn't have problems with the guns not running. I used only the Staccato magazines, and I used like Blazer. I did a duty ammo test. I shot all kinds of, like, a bunch of different brands of like 115 or 124 grain, like FMJ stuff. I shot a few different kinds of everything ran through the guns that I have. I did not go looking to try to find ammo that wouldn't run, but I didn't have a problem with anything that I was running. Here's one of the follow-ups. The majority of the mags they used were Prodigy mags. Is that true? In Lucas's Staccato test, they used Prodigy mags? I think that's fucked up. I don't think you should do that. I think you gotta use the Staccato mags, in fairness. Could be the reason they were having so many issues. They have a bad habit of comparing every pistol to Glock, which is a fine pistol. It's not for everyone. Think a little more. Okay, yeah, fine. I don't know if they're biased or not, but I don't know what mags they used. But just for the purposes of testing, if I was testing the Staccato pistol, you just use the Staccato mags in that way. Like, they think Staccato's on the hook for all of it. It's great. Is it practical talking about the 2011s? Like, sure, I guess. I mean, it is a gun that you could do things with. It's like the part that's not practical, like people don't like the price. And then really like the manual safety and the grip safety and stuff. A lot of that's just kind of like old news. People don't like that. Dude, let's see if you have a time difference at 100 yards and a 6-inch steel plate between a red dot sight and an LPVO. Of course thered be a difference. I'm not sure how much it'd be time. I think it'd just be consistency. Like a 6-inch steel plate at a fucking 100 yards with like standing it's not easy to hit in any case with just a dot. Like I don't know that I'd be able to hit it every time. Probably not. All right. Am I wrong thinking that if you're paying that much for a pistol, it should run out of the box? Not talking about a break-in period, couple malfunction in the first 100 rounds as it gets used to firing. No, you're not wrong. The pistol should run out of the box, in my opinion. Like the Staccato should run out of the box. My XC ran out of the box. The P ran for a little while, and then it was discovered the slide stop was bad, and they were not like super happy with that. Okay. Staccato performance does not live up to the cost. I knew within minutes of shooting the Staccato P that if I just purchased or taken it home the day before, that I would be getting rid of the gun. Very unimpressive for how much it cost. I'm unironically happier with my upgraded Prodigy, which is just over half the cost of what I paid for the Staccato. It's like, yeah, so if you can buy a pistol that does things for like, I don't know, $500, you will never. And that's what you're like fixated on. Like you will never be happy buying like a $4,500 pistol. That will never make you happy. And that is fine. Like, why would it? All right. That's a weird comment. You still mad, Ben? Did your GF? Like, ooh, I don't think maybe I did. I don't know. All right. 226 update. I hadn't heard anything about it since you were going to use it. Yeah, so I've trained with the 226 a little bit. I just relocated it so I'll be able to train with it in the next few months. In lieu of taking the 320, I guess the 320 just kind of took up a bunch of my attention. Not to mention, I've been busy and traveling and I'm fucked. It's not really an excuse. It's like the 226 thing's going to take time. It's like, it's going to be a little bit before I get the amount of rounds on that gun that I want to have on it. I mean, you know, the travel's been nuts lately. I'm in Iraq right now. It's weird. I know. Okay, 4K seems like a lot of money for a gun. I feel like it is a lot of money for a gun. I have a Shadow 2 that I shoot in USPSA competitions, and it works better than the Glock 34 I used to shoot. Okay. Would a Staccato XC be much better and make up for my lack of talent and ability? Yeah, I think it would probably make up for your lack of talent. I don't know that the gun's a lot better, but if you bought it and you believed it would make you more talented, maybe it will. I don't know. Ben, what's your opinion on Atlas pistols? They're fine. Like, they're fine. It is a production 2011. Every time I handle one and shoot one, I'm like, oh, I mean, this is pretty nice, whatever. Okay, cool. And it's like, how much money is this? It's like $7,000 or whatever. And like, yeah, I mean, that this all makes sense. It's just, it's like it's the, I would say higher end, more options, but it's the same type of thing as a Staccato, but it's geared towards competition nerds, not towards police officers. I'm interested in how the 226 will stand up to you abusing it compared to the older tales we hear about their durability. Yeah, kind of me too. Now I've shot that. I have a little bit of experience shooting the 226s, believe it or not, and a few units that I've shot with use them as well. And that's really where I want, like, my opinion on the 226, like, really changed through actually using them and shooting them a lot and watching other guys shoot them. I mean, if you have a dozen guys use 10, 12,000 rounds in a day and you just watch, and it's like, none of these guns are breaking. Everything is working fine. It's like, wow, that's pretty good. If no staccatos in Europe, what do you recommend? The Bull, SAS2 TAC, or Springfield Prodigy? Honestly, for the European bros, like look at how the warranty stuff gets serviced, and then I would go with that. Because the warranty thing is difficult. Like one of the big selling points on the staccatos is the warranty, which is, I think, really good. But if you're in Europe, you're not going to be able to take advantage of overnighting the gun back to staccato to have them piss around with it. So between the Bull and the Springfield, I would look at where you can get the gun actually taken care of. Just guessing, depending on what country, probably you'd want something from Bull Armory because that's more like competition oriented. I got a question. Is the gun mechanically faster than your other guns? That's probably not the right way to phrase it. If you're asking if you're able to shoot the gun faster consistently than your other guns and still achieve the desired hit factor. I know all it comes out of training. Some guns are more mechanically accurate, but those staccatos actually faster than other guns, or is it just hype? Yeah, it's going to come down, like the trigger is kind of essential for like how aggressively I can, like how fast I can make bullets come out. I don't have a super fast finger. Yeah, I shoot the staccatos like a light single action trigger. I will shoot marginally faster than a mushy, like polymer striker fired pistol. Is the staccato like different, even like functionally different than like a CZ Shadow 2? No, not really. I don't think so. Not as far as how fast I can shoot it. What? Have you ever considered trying out the staccatos for CCW? Yeah, I've shot them. I think it's the CS. They seem too big and heavy to be more practical for CCW compared to a 19, but I'd be curious what you thought. Like, I genuinely don't like shooting the little 1911s or the little 2011s. It's like I don't know, when you even when you go to like a 3-inch slide as opposed to the what's the P, like 4 1/4. Like when you go to a 3-inch gun or 3.5, it's like I don't like the way the 2011 shoot. When you shorten them up that much, I don't like when you make the grip small or any of that shit. It's like I would pick something else for a smaller pistol, personally. I just genuinely don't like. When I first saw the title, I thought you spent $50K on staccatos. It wouldn't be that hard. You know, you buy, what, a dozen of them? All right, awesome. I bought a used Prodigy for $1,000 that I'm using to get to know the platform. Swap some parts, it's been great. Love the platform. I would probably skip the staccato and just get an Atlas. You could do that. All right. Let's see if there's another good one. Would you consider running a Walther PDP Pro X at some point? Is that which fucking one is that? Because there's one that I want. The one that I want to play with is the one that's like the Canic I just got. It's the all plastic one with a comp on it. Like, I like that. I just like the weight. I mean, I like the weight of it. I want to shoot it, see if it shoots good. Let me pull this bitch up. Is this the one? Is this the one I'm thinking of? It has the dynamic performance trigger. It has the aluminum mag well. That's cool. Quality. It has Parker Mountain Machine stuff. All right, here it is. PDP Pro X PMM full size. Yes, that's what I want. So it has the Parker Mountain Machine comp on it, and I still think it's the plastic gun. I hope so. Yeah, I think, yeah, that is the one. I want to play with that gun. I do kind of like that. All right. Hi, Ben. I'm glad that you completed your staccato journey. I don't know if I completed it. I'm still on the journey. There's no real destination. However, the extractor issue is just another proof that the 1911-2011 nonsense has to be dropped in the darkness. Using a spring as an extractor has to be tuned. Grip safety deep inside nobody wants has to be tuned. 2011 mags that need to be tuned because they were born for another caliber. Link barrel that has to be tuned to properly engage the locking lugs. All of this when we have alternatives right out the door that can be installed. Drop in extra, yeah, okay. Just keep the grip angle and trigger and throw out the rest. Okay, yeah, I guess. Like I would say that like the staccatos they're 2011s, but for as nice as they are or aren't or whatever, they're still 2011s. Like, that's not really going to change. So what 2011 would you compete with in limited optics? Like, I don't know. I'd get the gun exactly the way I wanted it, as far as like exactly the safety, exactly the grip. It would be probably a modified Staccato, would be my guess. It's not really a guess. It'd be probably would be that. Ben, I want you to start competing hardcore again, just so I can see which platform you choose to run with. Man, I have a lot to do. So busy, so busy. Is Staccato becoming the BCM of the 2011 world? That's an interesting. See, but BCM's like not really expensive. They're not positioning themselves as like a Gucci brand. Like, I don't think so. I should check. I should look at their website before I talk too much shit. But I don't think they position themselves the same way at all. Yes, their website is quite a lot less grandiose, I would say. It's not really the same type of company. A lot of people are asking you to shoot the M&P. Like I think that the 2.0s, the M&P 2.0s, I think are good. Anyone who's dealt with Smith & Wesson for their customer service knows how terrible the company is. Yeah, probably. It's a shame. If you don't believe me, just look at their Better Business Bureau reviews. Like, okay, yeah, probably they're pieces of shit. That's fair. Something I'm really stuck on personally with these types of pistols, this is referencing the Staccato again. When the CZ Shadow 2 Optics Ready exists for like $1,000 less money, why do people buy these? Well, I'll say this. I think the Staccato the Staccato P is a different universe of pistol compared to the Shadows. It is vastly better. The finish is nicer. The trigger's better. I mean, ergonomically, like subjective, like whatever you want to say. I don't know. I like the ergonomics better, but not everybody would. And I like the Shadow 2s, but it's just like the Staccatos are way better. Like just in terms of the quality of the actual builds, they're way better. The Shadow 2s are like really popular, especially with the USPSA hobbyist people, because it's like built for that game and all of the support exists for it. Like people understand how they work, they can change all the parts, how they make them run. But in my experience, they're more maintenance than a 2011, and it's like not even close. Like I would argue that with anybody. Like the Shadows are more of a pain in the ass than the Staccatos are. It's just the way it is. Ben Steger, use some sunscreen, bro. It's like, okay, cool. All right. 2011s are doo-doo supreme. That's a great comment. That's a great one to end it on, guys. I don't know. We'll get some more discussions going on. More to come. We'll see.